will grow. This is how every church in America and across the nations will begin to grow. If Allah and them look more organized than we do, there is a problem. They're unified in a demonic sense. They're unified. They're going to tell each other and everyone else that there is no God but Allah. Amen. And they actually have their denomination, Sufi and Sunni. And I believe it's one more. It's the Free Radicals, and it's one more. But all of them have the common sense to come in line with, our God is the only true God. And if you do not serve our God, you will die. That's their standard. That is why there's so much conversion in the Middle East right now. There are Christians that had to flee to the mountains because they believe that Jesus, God in heaven, is their God, and they don't want to convert. They lost their houses. Wives have gotten raped right in front of their husbands. Husbands and sons' heads were beheaded and paraded around the town, all for a central belief. But because they are unified in that fact and in that manner, that is why the Nation of Islam will continue to grow. If we come in alignment, I'm not just talking about, non-denomination. I'm talking about Kojic, Baptist, Catholicism, all of them, because it's plenty and they just keep stemming off with their little schisms. I am telling you that the world will begin to see the standard in God and begin to raise to it. But the first and bottom thing has to be that Jesus Christ is Lord. And the second thing is that he calls us to holiness and holy living, because the one that is on the throne is holy. He says, be ye holy, for I'm holy. That's the one that sits on the throne. So we have to begin to rise to his standard. Set our standards down. Set our credentials down. Set our mindsets down. And begin to truly look a little deeper to exactly what his standard is. Now the one that is on the throne, it is the description. This is why they began to speak on him. On the rubies that sat there and the carbuncles and such, because it is a speak of his beauty, his splendor, his majesty, his value, his worth, and his pricelessness. Now I am very, very inclined to believe that inside of the church, we've become too familiar with what we think God is. We forget that at his right hand there's pleasures ever known, meaning that there is miracles forever, or that there's salvation forever, or there's love, peace, joy, hope, faith, meek, kindness, gentleness, and control of yourself forever inside of his presence. We kind of try to pluck God off his throne and bring him down to where we is and try to meet him where we desire to meet him versus come up here, because when the angel instructed John to come up here, let me show you some things, that was indicative of him going even higher inside of God. God didn't come down to him. He had to go up even higher to get to his throne. Can you imagine passing through a portal that is far away from planet Earth, and then an angel still saying to you, now come on up here? Meaning there is even a higher height for you to go to, a deeper depth, some more something, some more girth, some more space in order to get to his presence. I'm talking about presence worship at home, where your environment no longer exists. Something else exists. You got to see an angel. Something has to happen. There has to be a shift in the atmosphere, a weird sensation. Something has to happen, because we become so familiar with what we think he is. We sit at home with a stale atmosphere and a stale environment instead of coming and breaking ourselves down. He's looking for brokenness in this season, because brokenness is indicative to his sensitivity. Amen. Amen. The more sensitive you become to God's presence, the easier it is to become holy. The more sensitive you are to his presence, the easier it is for you to begin to even explain who you serve to others around you. How he changed your life. Why he changed. What he has delivered you from. Because it is not about the one that has paid the price. And not so much about the slave that had been bought. Amen. So we have to begin to change our mindset and our ideologies as far as the one that's on the throne. Turn your Bibles to Exodus chapter 24.